the whole goal of college gymnastics is you maximize your sport potential and you sell your gymnastics. You present it with full out and joy and every ounce of your talent, your work, your hope, everything.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode number 4 of Flipping Out with Bridget Sloan. That's right. I'm your host, Bridget Sloan, and this is a podcast where you will hear from athletes to coaches to fellow ESPN analysts and really anybody in the gymnastics community that wants to share their story on this platform. And today's guest I am so excited about because she just oozes with passion for NCAA gymnastics and really gymnastics across all levels. She's an Olympian. She's a fellow ESPN analyst. Please give it up for Miss Kathy Johnson Clarke. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kathy Johnson Clarke joining the podcast today. Kathy, thank you so much for joining. You are someone that I've always looked up to, and we'll get into all of that later. But I am so happy to have you because your passion for the sport of gymnastics, it just gets me excited.
Thank you. It's deep. It's deep. It's complicated too. What's your relationship with gymnastics? It's complicated.
It's a complicated relationship, and that's totally fine. But I think you bring just such good spice to the sport of gymnastics. You are, in my eyes, you're the queen of commentary. You can tell the people how long you've been doing it. But I do want, for anyone who is just tuning in, Kathy Johnson Clarke used to commentate my meets when I was in college, and you have such a cool, amazing gymnastics background. I want you to do a full introduction of yourself. That's right.
Oh, my dear.
Full introduction of yourself.
But hold my medicine ball. I'll put that over here. So when I was commentating you, that's probably halfway, 2/3 of the way through my broadcast career, which is scary, but I'm making you feel really young. Okay, just to be clear, in 1984, I got really lucky because guess where they were? NCAAs, Pauley Pavilion, UCLA. I hopped in my car and drove up the freeway to cover 84 NCAA championships. And it was the beginning of what is now over 40 years of doing commentary. And I started in college, I did that for like 8 or 9 years. NCAA championships way back in the 80s. And then Bart and I got back together and did ABC Sports, got to do European championships, World Cup, World Championships, all these fantastic elite meets, which were so fun. It was wide world of sports. So it was just the cool time to do television. Except for, let me be clear, now is the cool time.
That's right.
It is. And your eras, and you did, Bridget, so much for NCAA gymnastics. I mean, being the first world all-around champion to come to college. And I remember when we sat down for that interview. Do you remember this? And I even had you and who else do like an advertisement or something to all the gymnasts out there to come to college. Like, why you should come to why do college gymnastics? Because
I probably said it's fun.
Oh, of course. No, you lit up. It was like the most fun thing to do, and the connection you have with your teammates and going to school, it's magic.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure I know there are hard days. I don't pretend to say, oh, it's all joy and it's all roses.
Right.
And it gets harder and harder because now with all our television, these gymnasts are literally on every weekend. There is no compete through a weekend.
Well, and wow. So if you don't love Kathy yet, what are you doing? Because Kathy, your story, every situation that you had growing up, whether good, bad, ugly, you always were able to make it worthwhile, which I think is so amazing and also has transitioned so beautifully into what you do now as an ESPN broadcaster.
I go back to that one element that I said I never wanted to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fall out of love. I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to stay too long. I don't even think I shared the third one. I don't want to fall out of love.
Oh, Kathy.
And I was so damn close.
Pulling on my heartstrings.
I know it, to fall out of love, because I did.
Yeah.
I will tell you. And I had a hard time at the 84 Olympics. Like,
Yeah.
we won a silver medal as a team, and it was beautiful. It was wonderful. And I qualified for all-around finals and beam finals. I put my hand down on floor, unfortunately. But I made beam finals. But all-around finals, I love all-around. I know you have to. I mean, world champion, Bridget. That's like, for me, world all-around champion is better than anything. That's just like, to be able to. Do you know who can't even say that? Nadia. So she was Olympian. So exactly. So I went into all-around finals like a kid in a candy store. You probably know where this is going. I, as experienced as I was, and as grounded as I should have been able to be, which I was during my warm-ups, like, because you have to know how to be normal.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything, you got to be normal. But this is the Olympics, and I've missed one because I just missed the team. I missed another because of a boycott. I am a month away from 25.
It's your time.
Finally, this little girl is in the Olympic Games, and your family's out in the stands and everybody, and my first event is bars. Now, remember, I said my optional bars are good. Like, I'm ready to, I'm going to hit.
Right.
I did the best bar routine I've ever done in my whole life. I stuck a double twist flyweight, stuck it, drilled it. And I went, oh my God. I almost, I had an out of body experience, and I went 9-9. I was like, oh my God, on bars. I'm going to my two best events now. Somebody needed to take me. And instead, guess what I had done? I told my coach, because I'm so mature and I'm experienced. I've been in final. I told him, because back then we couldn't have the individual coaches on the floor. He had to. There are two other athletes. We had 3 in all-around finals. And only 2 coaches on the floor. 3 of us, 2 coaches. We're all in different places. And I stressed to him that I was fine, because the other 2, Mary Lou and Julianne, they were Bella's athletes. Okay? Oh. There was stress, not on the floor, but he's on the floor. He's on the outside of the, traveling around.
I would say up the fences that they used to have up, that it was like no coach could come past, even though it was, I guess fence isn't the right word, but it really was couldn't go past.
It's a fence, and now they tag team out and they let people come in, and couldn't do that back then.
Oh,
he had an equipment pass so that he could at least be there.
Okay.
But he wasn't one of the coaches.
Right.
He was. So anyways, I told our coach, you need to stay with them, because if anything happens, it'll be your fault. You can imagine it was stressful. It was stressful on our coach. It was and having Bella, you don't kick off Bella, because it'll be whatever. So I thought, I'm cool. It's beam. I don't need me. I got over there and I was too excited, too amped, too ready. And I was like, okay, I just got a 9-9 on bars. I could go down. Just all the wrong things, Bridget. All the
wrong right mental cues going through the old brain there.
No, and it was too much of the, and then you're trying too hard, and I fell.
Oh,
it just weirdly too on if I ever missed this skill, it was a stupid lay out, step out. Really?
Oh, I was about to say, please don't tell me it was a full turn.
No. It was, no. So anyways, but I had changed my routine to do it that way. So I fell. But everybody was sort of making little mistakes. I don't know what it was at those Olympics. So it's not like you're out of it. And of course, so I go to floor. I'm going to do the biggest, highest triple twist I've ever done in my life. Well, Google it.
Oh, no.
Look on YouTube. It was the highest.
I was going to say, was it a little too high of a triple twist?
I completely missed my block point. pulled around like I was going to do a double back. Like I
Oh.
could have done double. Like I was just boom, and trying to do a triple twist. I so over rotated this that I was like, I flew off the floor off the podium onto the judge's table. Like I could almost hit, and do you know, I could hear one of the not the judge, but the one sitting next to her, assistant or whatever. And I think it was somebody I even knew. And I think she said, Jesus Christ, like that. I said to myself, I kid you not, no, he can't even help me now. Like, and now you're running back on the floor trying to catch up with the music.
Oh, that's the worst.
So, Bridget, this is not my dream. This is not my fairy tale. This is not like I now have 2 falls at the Olympics in the All-American finals. I've never at a Worlds or like done this in my life.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what happened to me after that. And I had beam finals to do 2 days later, 3 days later.
Probably 2 days.
Or whatever I think it was like 2 days later. Oh my Lord. So now we're at that point where, remember when I said I never wanted to quit? And I'd never, ever truly until this moment. And now I go, I can't, like, it felt like somebody took my heart out of my body and my spirit, took a sledgehammer, smashed it, all the pieces, and all the pieces went like this, out everywhere. And then stuck parts of it back in me so that I was still breathing. I was still like, I still have a heartbeat. I still breathing. And we leave the arena. We have to have like a meeting because the meet's still going. Like we still have finals. So the coach tells me, training's tomorrow, whatever, like that. And I guess I made not made a face, but he could just see my face just sort of fall. He went off.
Oh no.
Well, hold on. All is forgiven.
Okay.
Let me just say that before we go to this rest of it.
There we go. Thank you.
Because I was a grown-up and Ro was there too in the room. And she sat there because it killed her too, to see this and to watch me just go like this, and he goes storming out. And then I'm just sitting there because I'm now more broken. Right. And she came up to me and she goes, he's just as heartbroken as you. And he doesn't know what to say. He just doesn't want you to give up. I don't know if I just don't talk. I went back, and for like a day and a half, I just was to myself. I was to my, like, oh Lord, I can't even describe. I can't even describe the feeling. And I think later in life, when I had a miscarriage, I go, oh my God, this is that. Like, I'm telling you, that's how dark and deep, and now where I was in that moment. And for me to get myself to a point where I could even, I did my training the next day. I did my warm up the next day, but everything that I did differently. I did oddly. I did weirdly. I did like, except the gymnastics was okay. Like that somehow was good, but everything else was bad until the moment after warming up. I'm in a gym. Poly Pavilion. Okay. So you kind of know, and you know where the wooden center is. Okay. That's where they train. So that's the train, where the training is. Now it's a different, well, no, it's kind of the same. Yeah, it is. But they had the big gyms where they played basketball. They had them all set up for the warm-ups. Okay. But and they built a bridge that you could go across so you weren't walking with all the people to get over to Poly Pavilion.
Oh, okay.
Kind of cool. But all these places, like I'm so familiar with it. I even know where the payphone is outside of the bathroom that we use when you walk out of what were the basketball gyms and then the old wooden center. And so I walk past a payphone. I pick up the phone. I called collect. I call my brother. So he answers the phone and he goes, what are you doing? Because literally they've just done bars.
Oh my God.
Beam is next.
Dude, you were on the phone mid-meet.
Yes. I can say this now because it's 40 years later. And I've told it since. I've told it since because it all worked out okay. But I pick up the phone. He answers, freaks out. And I said, why don't you come out and we'll meet at San Pietro's? It's a pizza place after the meet. And he was like, now? Like, because now I'm realizing I'm telling him to drive 45 minutes to an hour from Huntington Beach, which is where they were, to then meet us in the middle of the Olympic Games. You've got to find parking. You've got to meet us in Westwood, right near Poly at San Pietro's. And he did it.
Oh my gosh.
So I go across the bridge and here comes Pam Bilek, my teammate, racing to me. You got to line up. I said, I know, I'm coming. I mean, I watched Julianne win bars on the big screen television inside the warm-up gym before I walked over to do beam. I walked down. Remember how the stairs at Poly Pavilion? I walked down the stairs right into the lineup and marched in for beam. Walked all the way around, did our final touch warm-up. I sat down. When do you ever sit down if you're competing in beam finals? Do you?
Kathy, you and I are very different. I sat down a lot.
I'm like, really? Oh no.
I think it's Sam that you're thinking of. She was not one that sat down where I was the one that sat down.
Oh, so that's what I needed. But I sit and I watched everyone compete. Who does that? Oh, clapping. Oh, great.
Oh my gosh.
They're all doing just great. And then I get up because I think I went right after Ma Yang Hong, who's gorgeous. Like, she just won bars, gold medal. She and Julianne had tied for gold on bars. And she did great. I'm clapping and I get up and I'm like cracking my back because I got to go back walk over layout. So I got be able to bend my back. And finally I walked up there and I standing on the end of the beam before I got in position for my mount, which was kind of a side diagonal. I would jump, swing my leg through to a straddle split off a board. And so somebody had to move the board. So my teammate was up there with me. Green light goes on. I turn to salute the judge. And I still have not decided I can do this. And I looked at the head judge. And you know what's weird? Because now I look back and I go, did I make this up in my brain, in my mind? Or was the head judge really who I thought it was? Because in my mind, I go, it was Ludmila Tursheva, who was one of the big judges back then. And of course, Olympic champion and one of my idols. And it was almost like time warp. I went back to my 12-year-old self in my backyard, on my backyard beam, going and I even said in my mind, I started at my junior high school. It's called Hoover Junior High School. And I had a coach there who every time we learned something new, he would say, do or die for Hoover Junior High. I said that in my head. I go, do or die for Hoover Junior High. And off I went.
I love it.
The nerves didn't go away, but I went into this place where literally I could see the tree in my backyard. I could see had I not had the experience in all around, this would have never happened.
Right.
I was literally, had been watching my life pass in front of I was dying.
Oh my gosh.
Because I felt like I died. Oh my God, this is not how I'm supposed to end. This is not at all. I should have retired after 83. That was my time. I missed it.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't tell me I shouldn't have tried to do this. It was so wonderful to be tough again.
Yeah.
To be, and to hit and then stick my dismount. I used to stick with my legs straight, the things you're not supposed to do.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I go up on my toe. I didn't move my toes. It was just boom. And oh my God, Bridget, I did a salute I've never done in my life. I turned and I put my hands over my head and I went like that.
Oh.
And it was just the feeling was this instant, oh my God, I've just gone full circle. I am leaving the sport the way I came in, loving it like a 12-year-old kid, dreaming of the Olympics. It was playing the Olympics and here it was. And I I didn't walk down the I kind of glanced over there, and instead, because all my teammates were, not all of them, but most of my teammates were there, the coaches, and I leaped off I just ran and I jumped off the podium.
Oh my gosh.
Hugged everyone. The weird thing was, so the score came up. I hadn't even thought of anything, like not thinking medals, not thinking anything like that. And Ro comes up to me and she like puts her hands on my face. She says, "You've finally done it. You've won your Olympic medal." And I went, "What?" I look up at I go, "Oh my God. Oh my God. I won a bronze medal. Oh my God." And she goes, "And it might as well be platinum." Just like that.
Oh.
And then she says, this whole place is just roaring and it's just us. And she says, "And it's time." And I looked at her and I went, I know. I'm like, I know.
But aren't you so happy? Like that, this is such a full circle moment for you where, man, you talk about highs and you talk about low lows.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And I know I have a very nice retirement story where I was ready. I knew my time was coming. I was ready for it.
Tell me.
And mine is similar, especially from elite. It's very similar. And the fact of, I was at 2012 Olympic trials. I was older. Alicia Sacramone and we were the grandmothers. Back then, I mean, we were prehistoric. Like we were dinosaurs. And it was weird. Man, it's so weird. Because as you were talking about it, I was like, man, I had a very similar, like, kind of like an out-of-body experience, but I didn't know if I was supposed to be done. And then when I was warming up on bars, I hit my elbow, like the mats were brand new and I missed my release. I hit my elbow and I had shooting pain down my hand. And I was like, that's not supposed to happen.
Right.
And sure enough, my body had enough. Like my body was done. And as troubling as it was in the moment, as horrible as it was in the moment, I mean, you're trying to make your second Olympics. You're being told by a lot of people that there's no shot, that you're too old, that you're not up. Like, everybody is against you. And I'm like, no, I can do, I'm going to prove it to myself that I can do it. And then my body gave up and I got injured and I had this elbow injury. And then I ended up tearing open my foot again. So I had to get stitches in my foot. Like my body had just had enough, plain and simple. My body was done.
It was telling your mind.
Yes.
And your spirit, your heart, and everything.
100%. My mind was not, I don't think my mind was quite ready, but my body was like, we are done. And the biggest blessing was going to the University of Florida. No doubt. The biggest blessing was at the time keeping my eligibility and going to the University of Florida and just starting so fresh.
Yeah. Like a rebirth and falling in love all over again.
100%.
Yeah. And trust me, I know the elbow thing. So my early injury was a broken, dislocated, and I totally destroyed the ulnar nerve.
Oh my gosh.
I had to move that. So I'm still numb. So I know this.
It's terrible. Oh. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Like it is not a fun experience.
No. And I actually so they're still kind of numb. Had to get used to like the weird feel on bars of not totally feeling. And then after 84, we went on tour. So I was still training, enough to do tour. And I went to do an arm move and I go, oh my Lord, what happened? So I had to go see our doctor out in LA.
Oh my gosh.
He puts up the x-ray after he x-rayed it. And he goes, oh my, says, well, first of all, you never told me you had screws in your elbow. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, I should have mentioned that.
Back in 1977, he says, they probably should have come out. Did they mention that? I go, yeah, they did. But like, when was I gonna? So one of the heads of the screws broke when I did that arm movement. Oh, and it went out on right where my nerve is sitting because they retransplanted my ulnar nerve. So now this little piece of screw is broken off and it's on this nerve going. And he says, well, I can just go in. I'll take that out and I'll snap the other one off. And I said, oh, good. So I'll be half screwed up. Like, perfect. And then he's like, you realize this could have happened like at the Olympics. Like,
Oh my gosh.
and I go, oh, don't even say that. Well, then he goes, this was the best, Bridget. He goes, how old are you? I said,
I hope you said it's not nice to ask a woman how old she is.
now it's okay because I'm young again. I'm retired. I am now a young person because in real life, 25 is young.
Oh,
In
thriving.
gymnastics, you're ancient. So I said, 25. He goes, well, I'll be darned. Your growth plates are still open. What?
Happy you weren't done growing?
So I was 5.5 inch at the Olympic Games. So now I said to him, I go, oh my God, am I going to grow? And he's like, I don't think so, but that is unusual. And I was like, well, it actually wasn't. So here's the other thing. You said share anything. So I hadn't had a period yet.
Very normal. Very normal for gymnasts to start that cycle later.
Not quite this norm, but really late.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I went through puberty after I retired. I had my first period like a month or two later. And within a year, I grew an inch.
Oh my gosh.
I was 5'1.5". I know I'm a freak. And now I know
an inch.
Now you know what's wrong with me, why I'm so like, that's what's wrong with her.
Gosh.
Yeah, no. So
I wish I grew an inch. Oh my gosh.
actually,
If anything, I grew wider, not taller.
I'm so glad I got that little extra inch.
No, I get it. I get it, Kathy. I hear you. But we do need to transition.
Yes.
We haven't talked about NCAA's. NCAA gymnastics, that is, because for those listening, obviously now, you know, Kathy has a passion for gymnastics at all levels. I think that is the beauty of where your passion stems from, because I really think it covers every level out there. But NCAA gymnastics, you have seen everything from the start to where it is now. And with this season, what are we in? 2 meets. So when this drops, we'll be 2 meets in already. So it'll be week 3. How impressed are you with what you've been seeing?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just finished doing 3 quad meets. So my brain's like, it's firing all over the place.
For those that don't know, a quad meet, normally during NCAA season, they are dual meets. So it's 2 teams. They go back and forth. It's relatively easy to follow. Yeah. But a quad meet is all 4 events going at the same time. There is an athlete going on every single event almost at all times. So it is very challenging as an analyst and as a broadcaster to do that, but also to watch. So the fact that you had 3 of them back to back to back is
with our new format, which this is exciting actually for NCAA gymnastics. This new format, they're calling it double dual meet. So instead of having potentially all 4 routines, all 4 events happening at the exact same time, they're staggering them. It's going to go. So imagine you're watching a gymnastics meet. On the left side of your screen, you're going to see there are 2 teams. They're going to alternate between vault and beam.
Oh,
yeah. And on the right-hand side, they're going to alternate. I know it'll freak you out until you actually sit down and do it. On the right-hand side, they're going to be alternating between bars and floor. So a short event and a longer event.
Right.
So imagine you're the gymnast competing. Normally, if you're vaulting, you're going to go back and forth in a dual meet with bars.
Right.
Bars are shorter.
It's quick.
It's quick. It's quick. Yeah. And then the timing for our television is they do a bar routine, wait 20 seconds, and the next vaulter goes. And that's what they're used to, which is why some people kind of freaked out. They're like, wait, now we're going to have to wait too long. Now we're going to have to stand up there. First of all, don't approach the vault yet. Just wait, because you are now following a beam routine. Okay. Because right after the first vaulter landed, 20 seconds later, beam starts. Okay.
Oh, I think I like that.
So vault and bars start at the same time. So this is the one time when you're calling the meet that you're going to have vault, bars, left, right, a vault here, bars here. That's easy to do. You can call 2 routines at it and point it out. It's a little hard. Kind of have to split your eyeballs, and which I've gotten really good at. And but now after that vaulter lands, you know, bars is still going. We slide the bars over and we finish seeing it in big screen, the bar routine, she sticks. But so like, that's probably another, 8 seconds, whatever, for the bar routine to go. but they've already started the clock for beam. So vault lands, 20 seconds later, that beam's going to go. So now we're going vault, bars, beam, beam. We start calling the beam. Okay. Now keep in mind, right after that bars went, 20 seconds after she lands, floor is going to start. But we start on beam by itself. We get to see a little beam by itself, and then we slide the floor in. Now it's beam and floor. And then when beam finishes, we bring the floor, and now we're seeing full screen of the last part of the floor routine. And then it's continuous because right after beam, 20 seconds later, that vaulter goes. 20 seconds later after floor, that bar goes. And it's nonstop from that. Kind of like a revolving door. And honestly, the meet took less time.
Oh, I was going to ask if it took less time because those quad meets run so long.
No, it was actually quicker than our normal quad time. We had to even slow it down a little bit because we realized the spotters were, the moment the gymnast landed, they started the 20-second clock. And we ended too soon. We had to fill and fill and fill. So she's like, no, you have to go. They salute and they get off the podium, then start the time. Then because we covered that, we kind of see their celebration or whatever.
Right.
So now we literally did an entire meet. We did not miss a single routine. We showed every single routine, and it ended sooner than a normal quad meet. The only change for the athlete is the vault is a little bit slower and bars, because you know how rapidly they go and they're over. Then we got all beam and floor. So now we've got vault, bars, beam, floor through the whole show. And it's easier to not miss any. Well, one, we don't miss a single routine. And when you're watching, the most you're watching is two. And for the audience in the arena, instead of going, where do I look? Where do I look? There's 4. Oh my God, I'm going to miss. When you try to see everything, you don't see anything when you're in the arena.
Okay.
Now it's only 2 events are actually happening at the same time, sort of.
Okay.
It's kind of magic, honestly.
I love that.
And now once the 2 teams, because you asked me what I am most impressed by now. So in one session, Oklahoma won. Okay. And in another one, Cal won. Those 2 teams, I'm telling you, wow. So Bart asked me before the big quad with Oklahoma, Utah, and UCLA. That's a little hard when you're calling all those routines. That's literally, I think Bart asked me at one point, he goes, so I'm watching you call on air. He asked me, he goes, you're calling 2 routines at the same time. What is that like? And I said, whoa, that's a loaded question. So I said, it's like I have 2 brains and they're fighting each other. Like they're fighting each other. And then at one point I split my eyeballs. So I did that. But here's what he asked me about Oklahoma. Because let's just say it. They have a dynasty right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They're going for their 3rd national championship. So he asked me, what makes them so good? What makes them so special? What makes them almost unbeatable? Okay. You never say always unbeatable because nothing is inevitable. It's gymnastics, people.
Right.
Things happen. First, recruiting to their standard. Okay. The way you recruit. I mean, that is so important. And they've got that down pat. And the type of athletes that want to go there and be recruited and then ultimately decide to go, buy in to the system, the standard, the everything, the culture of OU gymnastics. Like every gym, every program has their kind of personality, their culture, and you hear everybody talks. So that's number 1, training and meet preparation. Okay. Their attention to details that matter. And then here's the most important one, because everybody wants to work on the details. They all think about the details. They all know the details. They all know the things that the judges are judging and not. Okay. They know it's like, okay, I got to do that because they are going to deduct for that. And they create drills that they do every day to make those details perfect, as perfect as they can.
Right.
And consistent come hell or high water. Okay. So that I didn't say that on the air, but that was like, I did a shortened version of that. Okay. No hell or high water. And they thrive under that kind of pressure
Mhm.
because they expect it and they train for it. They train for that kind of pressure. Still doesn't
Mhm.
mean there's not mistakes. There's not little things. I mean, they counted a fall. Or they had a fall on beam. Reagan fell. And you
Mhm.
go, no, she doesn't fall. Nobody falls. I mean, Miley O'Keefe fell on
Yeah.
beam. The earth stopped. Oh my gosh. Newsflash. She's human, everyone. Okay. Even somebody who's scored 11 tens on beam and time again, and looks like a human gyroscope on beam, where she just stays like, seriously, just stays centered and just, because side area layout, that's no joke. That's a
Oh yeah,
hard,
that's hard.
and get that consistent. And I stood there closely when I was right next to the podium when she trained to watch it. I go, damn. I mean, she just does that really, really well. And then Cal, my goodness, they are so good. Beautiful gymnastics. They're like the ultimate gym rats. Okay. They live gymnastics. They breathe gymnastics. They're only focused on that. In fact, we even had to tell them, you got to talk to your media person. Like we didn't get notes until, okay, we're going on the air in 5 minutes. He goes, yeah, because that's not important. What's important is the gymnastics.
Yeah.
And they train and they prepare, and they went out there and put on display some of the prettiest, most beautiful gymnastics that I've seen. Maya Lazan, oh my word. And MJ, I mean, she's a joy to watch, a pleasure. And their styles are just totally different. Their strengths and weaknesses are totally different. Maya's gymnastics speaks to me, to like my just that kind of old school, because I come from, what I come from. And I'm also a walking, talking like code of points. So it's like, I know, should I apologize to everybody, any gymnasts watching out there? I was like, I know the whole damn thing. All of it, not just the parts we use, but all of it. But wait till you see her. So she's just absolutely beautiful. They all are. I mean, every gymnast is. They're beautiful in their unique, special way. And I know that you're feeling this now as an analyst. Anytime you sit in that chair with a microphone, because we know the work, we know the sacrifice, we know how hard it is, because we all have our weaknesses. We all have what comes easy. We all have what's just comes harder, is not going to happen. Like, I can't do that, or I can do this. And so I always remember the most important word right now. And it's grace. It's not the grace that you think of when you think of graceful. It is, because we're all human. Everybody's going to stumble. Everybody's going to have, things in their gymnastics, that the whole goal of college gymnastics is you maximize your score potential and you sell your gymnastics. You present it with full out and joy and every ounce of your talent, your work, your hope, everything. And you try to camouflage any weakness or any mistake or any little minor flaw or whatever. That's what we do. I see them all. I see it all.
A blessing and a curse, as some might say.
It's a blessing and a curse. But I will tell you this, because it's grace that you need in every aspect of your life. What comes into my eyeballs when I watch, I think I probably have a little ADHD, a little OCD, a little this, a little that, and I have an eye. Everybody's convinced you can't see that until slow motion. I was like, I saw it in real time. Watch, super slow. There it is. See, I told you. But everything comes in, and my brain's a washing machine. And then I do my absolute best to wash it, rinse it, repeat. I do an extra rinse, or something comes out of my mouth. I try, because what I always want to do is highlight what they did best, what makes them, what makes that routine special, unique, beautiful, whatever it is that's their special. Try to point that out. Try to highlight that, try to. And then there are times I go back and forth. I feel I try to be a judge whisperer, like where you remind them of, like separations that's a deduction.
Oh, Kathy.
If you can tell, my makeup person this week, we were just talking, and it was so sweet. She's like, this is so awesome. And she came to me after the meet. She goes, after hearing all that you said, I could see. I said, if you see somebody, because they're going fast, series on beam, if you can tell they have feet or knees, if you can tell they have, like possess feet and knees, they're probably a little soft or not quite totally. Okay, they just are.
I mean,
do you have to do it every time? No, but that's the reality. If you can't, they're probably really straight. That's sort of the thing, because you're not looking at specific times. It's more
right.
of that's the only time that I wish we could. People want the separation. Okay, I want the high scores. Believe me, I love high scores. They're
Right.
so exciting, and it's the time in these gymnast lives to enjoy that and just get your biggest score ever. And I love it. I love it. But they can't all be there and smashed in between 9, 9, and 10. Like they don't all fit in there. So you need those little minute separations, even if it's quarter tenths of a point for a whole, like, okay, generally the whole routine, they don't have perfectly straight legs, or they don't have perfect toe point, and it's not even a matter of, like, some people say, but that's their body. That's like, their feet don't do that. And I go, it's their training. Okay. It's not just their no, it's training, it's development. And because when you've trained elite and you've had your body pounded from the ground up, it starts there. It's not polish. Okay. It's built into the foundation. But the flip side of that coin is then I see the entertainment and the selling these routines, which is magnificent. I actually think that should be a judged piece. It could be an additional part, because in college gymnastics, that's a big part of it. It's not just technique, execution, artistry, form, the polished form. I don't want to be so, I don't want their routines hacked up, taking off deductions every time I see something. I don't. I want to make that clear to everybody. I really don't. But there are differences.
I mean, Kathy, if anyone can make it happen, honestly, it's you. I have to ask you a very burning, very critical question. Who is your final four on the floor of NCAA finals? Like today, right now.
Oh my golly. Okay.
I believe in you.
So I feel like this is in no particular order, because
no, not going in order. Just who would be your.
So there's
your
part of. I mean, OU's going to be there. Okay. I just don't see that as in any universe.
Okay.
So
Oklahoma.
We've said this before, so I feel like it's deja vu all over again. Could LSU, because they're probably the best team who has never won a national championship. All the new talent they have, the people back from injury now and having all of that, and then the battle-tested resilience that this team had to create.
So LSU, we're adding them.
I think we can put them in the mix.
Okay.
I think we can put Florida in the mix.
Okay.
Even
you only get 4.
No,
there's no mix. There's just 4. So now you have one more.
No. So it's hard. It's hard for me now to not ignore what I saw from Cal.
I was going to say, I think Cal would be.
And last year, if you remember, at Nationals, I mean, they're a young team, and it didn't quite go the way. They made little nervous mistakes, but it was there.
Okay.
And I think that has driven their off-season training, their intensity, their gymnastic. If we're talking,
they got a little taste of what it feels like, and they were right there. The event that actually was the make or break event was uneven bars. How do I know that? Because I was covering only bars the entire weekend.
I know. But I know I know I can only do 4, but I think this could be a reemergence of Alabama really coming back, and the specialness of all these 5th-year seniors, and some of them just really doing extraordinarily well. Luisa Blanco and Aaliyah Finnegan for LSU. Like, there's some special things there that they're the unknowns, so you can't tell how everything all comes together. I have loved Michigan State. I love Michigan. Like, those.
Kathy, you can only have 4.
I want them all in there because I can't, it's just.
I know.
And I'm sure as season goes on, we're going to start to see who is the team of destiny.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure of getting to know your backstory even more. And again, you were someone that I looked up to in the broadcasting world growing up and going into college. And then now here we are. And now we're
all grown up. Look at
we're coworkers now. Now we're coworkers. But thank you again. You can hear Kathy on just about any network related with ESPN, SEC Network. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. Well, that wraps up episode number 4. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully you can understand that Kathy absolutely loves gymnastics, just like me. And if you like today's episode, please tune in every Wednesday because we will be dropping episodes. Make sure you like and subscribe to Flipping Out with Bridget Sloan wherever you listen to podcasts. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's make some good life choices today. And yeah, let's have a great day. Bye, guys.